Hey guys, thank you for watching this video. If you're new here, I'm Elton, a 50-something year old undertaking a long-term photography project in my 1996 Heimer. So you can expect to see travel photography and video from historical sites that I visit, landscape and nature photography, wildlife and animal photography from around my travels, and also video tutorials, camera gear reviews, and hints and tips of van life and long-term travel. So please do join me and hit that subscribe button. Hey guys, it's Elton again. So just going to bring you up to speed with my plans for the summertime. So some of you may know who have followed my journey for a few years that a couple of years ago, 2022, can't believe it's 2 years ago, I worked on a campsite in Devon. And at that point, same as I do now, I'm in two minds about it, really. The reason I've decided that I'm going to work on a campsite again this season is for several reasons, actually. So the first, as in the recent video that I posted about my mental health over the winter time, I just think I need a bit of stability for a little while. Where this campsite is, it's in the New Forest, which is an area I absolutely love. I stayed in a New Forest on one of the campsites in my first few months on the road, actually. I went to the campsite for 3 days, ended up staying for 3 weeks because I loved it so much. Waking up in the mornings with the van surrounded by ponies and deer grazing it's my idea of bliss. I'm kind of looking forward to that aspect of being in an area that I absolutely do love. I'm only going to be 25 minutes or so away from my sister and my niece and nephew and her husband. So hopefully I can see them on a more regular basis while I'm there. But in addition to kind of a bit of stability, because, Shaka, as I've mentioned in other videos, he turned 14 in January. So this could well be his last year. So for him also, I just want to give him a bit of stability, without having to every week or every other week moving around the country and having to find a new area for him to do his business and, get used to a new area and all that kind of stuff. So for him also, it's going to be a bit of stability. The reason, because this is a decision I didn't take lightly, because it is 7 months of being on the campsite. However, it feels like it's the right thing to do at this point in time, because I've been on the road now for 30 months, so 2.5 years, just over 2.5 years, and the van needs a bit of maintenance. It's difficult to do that maintenance work while you're staying on people's driveways or on campsites or while parking. So I need to, this is going to be an opportunity for me to do that maintenance work. So basically, the van is 28 years old or 29 years old, and I want to take all the external seals off and reseal everything. The doorway, the habitat doorway, for example, the wind excluder is torn and tattered and in bits, basically. So all that needs to get redone. I'm considering repainting the van and possibly doing some artwork on the van. Yet to be decided if that is going to happen, because I'm well aware that, because it's a Heimer, because she's almost a classic, they are quite sought after vans, actually, and they do retain their value pretty well. As I say, 28, 29 years old, if I sold her tomorrow, I could probably get about 14,000 or so for her, which, is good going, because if you had a van conversion of 28 years old, you're very unlikely to get anything near that kind of money. So I do realize that if I do decide to paint her and put artwork on her, that, there's potentially going to lose value in the van. But I have no intentions of selling her, to be honest. even if she comes to the point where throwing money at her would just not be the sensible thing to do. I would look to just store her, possibly put her on some land somewhere and use it as accommodation, or just keep her. But for now, at least anyway, I have no intentions of selling her. I mean, she's holding up really well for an old girl, but it is time to do some maintenance work on her. So this will be an opportunity to do that. Um, in addition to that, going off the back of my last video about how horrendous this last winter has been, I'm hoping to just have a bit of stability, get to know my colleagues, maybe have a bit of a social life with my colleagues, um, and yeah, just have time to kind of rethink things, get my priorities in order. There's also a few health issues that I need to kind of investigate and get tests for and all that kind of thing. So, yeah, whilst it's not ideal, it feels like the right thing to do at the moment. I'm going to continue to market and work on my website service offering. Because, in an ideal world, if I could get one website client a month, I don't need more than that. I would be financially okay. But at the moment, I'm probably averaging one website client every other month. Yes, I do the pet sitting also, which, you're looking at about 40, maybe £50 a day, depending on the number of animals, which I do pet sitting not for the income, but for my love of being around animals. I charge because my time is limited and restricted. If I'm watching dogs especially, I can't just go out for the day and explore. So therefore, I do charge a small fee. But that small fee isn't sufficient to pay the bills and, be able to go out and eat out and all that kind of nice stuff. So, yeah, I'm going to use the 7 months to work on those service offerings, my website design stuff, and my photography work. Once I know what my days off are going to be at the campsite, I can also then look to market my photography services a bit more in places like Southampton, Bournemouth, etc., close, nearby cities to where I'll be, and then just offer those services on my days off so that I can try to earn as much money in the 7 month period as I can. Um, so yeah, it's a mixed emotion, really. It's a bit of excitement because, as I say, I'll be close to my sister and hopefully see them and her and the family more often. Gives me the opportunity to do the van work, give Shark an opportunity for some downtime and stability too. And yeah, as I say, it's in an area that I absolutely love, so I really can't complain about that. Um, as it's a kind of wild campsite, it doesn't have facilities, so there's no toilet. That was the worst part for me in the last job, was the toilet cleaning, because inevitably every day you would have to fight at least one turd that was stubborn and to get it to flush. So that was the worst part of the job for me. Also being being in the New Forest, which is a protected forest, there's no groundwork that you can do. That's all managed by Forestry England. So there's no mowing of grass, no cutting trees, no trimming things, etc., which again, makes it actually quite a cushy job. But yeah, I'm going to obviously get out on my days off, get out and about, and I'm sure you're going to see a lot of content from the New Forest itself. But yeah, I just wanted to give you kind of an update on how this year is going to pan out. The hope being that after the 7 months and earning, obviously the income from the campsite job itself and any additional income from my website design and photography services, that I will be able to then have sufficient money come the end of September when the contract ends to do a bit of traveling. And again, as I mentioned in my last video, whether that travel is abroad or within the UK will depend on whether Sharka is still around with me at come the end of the year. So yeah, it's one thing I've learned about van life is don't make long-term plans. It really doesn't work. Even mid-term plans don't work. Pretty much just plan for what you're going to do tomorrow. But even that, at times, the weather throws you a curveball. But yeah, in an ideal world, I would be earning enough from my other services to continue traveling. But my reality is I'm not an influencer. I don't have the followers where a sponsor might be interested in working with me. And that's my reality. And that's okay because I realize I'm not a young'un. I'm not scaling mountains. I'm not doing high adrenaline sports. I'm not constantly on the move. I'm not hanging out the back of a van in my bikini, etc. So it's never been a goal of mine to kind of earn a living off social media. Um, if I can find a few brands to work with, outdoor brands, that will be great. And, if you happen to know any outdoor brand, any C-level management in outdoor brand companies, please do point them in my direction because that would be the ideal scenario, working for a few outdoor brands, camping brands, hiking brands, etc., who would like their products photographed in various locations and in real life, lifestyle type photos. But yeah, so that's the plan. I start the job on the 15th of March, so in less than 2 weeks of recording this video. I have one more paid pet sit to do prior to that. And then, as I say, I'll start the job on the 15th. So, yeah, obviously I'll keep you up to date, let you know how things pan out, and bring you lots and lots of video from the New Forest and the surrounding areas when I get out on my days off. All right, folks, as always, keep well, keep safe, and be kind. Cheers.